Hey boxing fans, this is Ian Thomas and this is Matthias on Boxing. This is a brand new boxing show which provides previews, predictions and so much more. So if you like boxing, please hit like and subscribe. This Saturday we will see Lawrence Okolie take on Krzysztof Glowacki for the vacant WBO Cruiserweight title, which will be shown live on Sky Sports Main Event and Sky Sports Arena. And the ring walks for this fight is expected around about 10 PM UK time. Okay, let's start with the tail of the tape between both fighters. Krzysztof Glowacki comes in the ring 34 years of age. He's 6 foot, he's got a 75-inch reach, and he comes in at southpaw. His fighting record stands at 31 wins, 2 losses, and 19 of those wins coming by knockout. He's the by far experienced fighter, and he's fought over 193 rounds of boxing. Where Lawrence Okolie comes into this fight at the age of 28, he's the taller man at 6'5". He's by far got the longer reach with an 82-inch reach, and he's the orthodox stance fighter. He comes into this with a fight record of 15-0, and 12 of those wins come in way of knockout. Again, with the rounds, he's only fought 63, so that is inexperience for this fight. Okay, let's talk about Glowacki first. He's a Polish fighter who comes forward with his hands up high and he springs in and out looking to catch his opponent with overhand lefts. He's the type of fighter that walks you down, throws jabs to the body and loads up with big shots from his left. To his credit, he has fought far more experienced fighters like Marco Huck, Steve Cunningham, Alexander Usyk and Mairis Briedis. Although he lost his fight to Usyk by unanimous decision in 2016, he showed a lot of desire in this fight to keep coming forward. He was cut early and he fought to the end. His last fight was back in June 2019 where he suffered a knockout loss to Briedis in the Muhammad Ali Trophy. This was somewhat controversial as in the clinch Glowacki hit Briedis around the back of the head when Briedis then threw an elbow which caught Glowacki clean, which the ref didn't see. This caused Glowacki to fall to the floor, but he was immediately told by the referee to get up. When the fight resumed, Briedis threw a solid right hand which hurt Glowacki and then followed up to the right to the back of the head, putting Glowacki down. When Glowacki returned to his feet, he was very unsteady, and in my opinion the fight could have been stopped there and then, but the ref allowed the fight to continue and Glowacki was hurt again and sent back down to the floor. It seemed to me that the referee at the time, Robert Bird, didn't hear the bell, and this is what gave Briedis the upper hand. Glowacki somehow returned for round 3 when he was hurt again by an uppercut and an overhand right, which ended the fight. But as you can imagine, Glowacki's corner wasn't very happy that this was the way that he had a defeat. So even though he did lose in his last fight, it was somewhat controversial. Now let's move to the Hackney man, Lawrence "The Sauce" Okolie. Since representing Team GB at the Rio 2016 Olympics, Okolie has now raced to 15-0. Some would say his fighting style is somewhat awkward yet effective, and with his 12 out of 15 wins coming inside the distance, shows that he's got punch power that will make him a real handful in the cruiserweight division. Okolie's last fight was in December 2020 when he stopped Nikodem Juszkiewski in round 2. When Glowacki's last fight was the defeat back in 2019 as we just spoke about. So again, the pandemic and inactivity could play a massive part in this fight, especially as this fight should have been made in December 2020, but unfortunately Glowacki tested positive for COVID-19, but he is now thankfully recovered. In my opinion, Okolie has looked a far better fighter since joining up with Shane McGuigan, who in my opinion is one of UK's top trainers. He's currently got a strong stable of fighters, to name a couple: Josh Taylor, Luke Campbell, but he's also worked with the likes of Carl Frampton, George Groves and David Hay in the past. Back in 2016, he was named Boxing Writers Association America Trainer of the Year, only the second UK trainer to receive this award after the great Enzo Calzaghe in 2007. I feel his boxing know-how and tactics and experience in world title fights will give Okolie the edge, having McGuigan in his corner. So let's move on to my prediction. This has probably been the hardest one to call so far. Glowacki has all the experience, but I just feel Okolie's reach and power will be key in this fight. There's no knocking Glowacki, he's a tough customer, he'll look to hurt Okolie as much as he can, and for me, the biggest question is whether Okolie can do it at world level. He's never been in there with somebody of Glowacki's experience, so there's always an unknown factor, but I feel Okolie will stop Glowacki late on. I do feel it'll be cagey at the start. Okolie will be using his jab to look at his opponent and suss him out, but then once he starts throwing the spiteful right hands, maybe to the body, to the head, I think it will hurt Glowacki. This will obviously win the fight for Okolie. It could go the distance with a points victory, but I just see Okolie getting that technical knockout. I see him hurting Glowacki, and Glowacki, as I said, he's a tough customer. Maybe he'll rise to his feet and the referee will have to intervene. Do you think the same as us? Let us know in the comments below, and hit that like and subscribe button. This is Ian Thomas, and thanks for watching Matthias Unboxing.